Hello friends, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hello. So I sounded like RuPaul there for a second. This time I wanted to do something that I haven't done before, which is a currently inked, and I actually don't know why I haven't done one. I guess I'm very, in that sense, a little disorganized. So the pens that I have inked up, um, they're just inked up for no random reason. So this year, I want to be a little bit more thoughtful of the inks or the pens that I use, the inks that I use, because sometimes I just keep like cleaning the same pens and inking them with something new just because they're right there. So actually here I have a handful of pens that I haven't inked before. So anyway, I'll be sharing that with you. And just FYI, the paper that I'm using, it's a Maruman Spiral Note. I think they call it Spiral Note Basic, but it's the Spiral Note notebook. And I actually did my swatches here for my proprietary Amarillo fountain pen inks, and it took the ink so well. As we know, we're kind of struggling with like Tomoe River, that mess. And then also one of my other favorite papers, which is Cosmo Airlight, was discontinued. So I'm still gonna stock up on that paper because I think it's really, really good. But I wanted to find something that was easily attainable, easily, like, you can go to the store and get it. And I think I was sent this by Maruman a while back, and I'm now starting to actually use it. But it's doing really well. It handles ink really well. Of course, this is like a large amount of ink on the page, and it still did well. And it's still showing the character of the ink. Oh, look at all that shading. This is blue suntan. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to invest is the word here, in some more of these notebooks, friends. And I should bring these to the shop because these are really good. So anyway, this is where I will be doing my currently inked and a lot of my writing from now on. This is a quick swatch of my inks again, and you'll see them. I apologize, you'll see them again because I do have 4 pens currently inked with these colors. So of course we can't get away from that. And then I did my usual Rorschach ink splats on these pages, and that was also fun. And then these are, you can tear the page away from the spiral, so that's pretty good if you want to store them somewhere else. And again, like, there's no bleeding. They did really, really well. So there's that. And then I did big swatches here. So anyway, let's start a new page. This is and I'll put the details in the description of the video, of course, in case I forget. And actually, not apologizing in advance, but some of the pens that I do have inked, I do not know the exact name of the material because, like, there's a handful of them that I saw immediately on pen maker stories, and I was like, oh, let me get that, and I'll just send you the money and whatever. So there was no listing provided, not even like an Instagram picture of what it was and what the material was. And I doubt, like, it's like, I bought these years ago, like maybe 2-3 years ago. I doubt the makers are gonna know what the material is. They can tell me the model, but not the material. So shame on me, because if I would have been really organized, I would have made an inventory of my pens. I still could, but I don't know. It's gonna be some work. But speaking on that, I think I want to start streaming either on Twitch or YouTube. So I need to get going on that and start researching what that all entails. But anyway, the first pen that I have inked is this super cool Pendragon Pen Company pen. And this is a proprietary pour or material. I believe it's called 70s mod or something like that. Anyway, I just saw the colors and I really fell in love with it. That's a beautiful yellow, and the teal and the orange. It was just really, really cool. They're doing really awesome stuff over there, and they usually do have sales every once in a while. Like they do have the Labor Day sale, I believe. So check them out. They're fantastic people. I think I did do like a pen review of this pen. So I don't think this is the first time I'm inking this pen. But I have this one inked up with Orange Kicks, and this is from my shop. And when I was looking for pens to ink, I just wanted like a reliable Jovo nib, and so I immediately went to that. And plus the color like goes pretty well with it. So let's swatch a little bit of this. And forgive me, this is my very first time doing one of these videos, so if I should be doing something differently, let me know. I should probably do a blotter. I have these random papers here on my desk. Oh, here's one from Job. Sorry, Job. No, I mean, not sorry. I mean, these are very useful, which is why I keep them. And I also, speaking on the paper, I don't think I've seen any issues with hand oils. So I'm not going to be too careful with that. And I didn't have a plan, but I think I'm able to fit, because I have 8 pens. I think I should be able to fit all 8 of them here. So that is the Amarillo stationery. Maybe I'll zoom in. And again, this is the Pendragon pens. This has a Jovo. I believe that's a medium nib. Yes. And I think I was watching a video from Karina Loves to Plan last night. So I was like, ooh, I really want to do that, because I have a handful of pens that I should probably have a little document telling me what I have going on. And that is, again, Amarillo Stationery Orange Kicks. And the pen is Pendragon Pens. And I believe the model is, or the color is 70s mod. I don't know if there's a specific model name, but at least the nib is a medium Jovo. And I forgot to tell you, but I'm using a River City Pen Company nib holder with a Kakimori brass dip pen. I think I told you before that I actually painted over this nib holder with yellow acrylic paint, which I should have done differently, because now, like, with the water, it's washing away. It's not like sealed or anything, but it is what it is. I don't care. It's mine. Anyway, so continuing on, the next pen that we are doing is this Little Pen Designs, which is a super cool shop. They primarily work out of Etsy, I believe. And so here's another situation where I kind of saw like this pen before it was listed, and even before this video, I looked up my email to try to find like, okay, like maybe there's a transaction with the name of this. So if you look at the cap and the butt of the pen, they're tapered. So there's that distinction. I want to say that the material is Enigma stationery, but I'm not quite sure. And this pen is inked up with Amarillo Stationery Toasty Joggers. Just because when I was looking for a pen, I wanted something yellowy, which this is kind of close. It's really not a perfect match, but again, for me, I was writing thank you notes to people. So I was like, I just need something right away. And yeah, so I chose that. And again, it's just a reliable Jobo nib. I didn't want to fuss with anything. I hope I really clean that nib because I think I see some orange in there. Yes, I did. I'm doing 3x3s. This ink is interesting because, let me see if I... This ink is interesting because it goes down a little bit reddish, but it dries to this toasty brown color. And I'll see if I can go fetch my Cosmo Airlight because I was playing with it last night. And on that paper, the ink is more brown than usual, or than what I've seen. And I don't recall having tested my inks on Cosmo Airlight paper. And I really should have. But then also, to that paper conversation, that paper is discontinued. So would it even have made a difference if I did, you know? So I think I just tested it on like Maruman paper and like old school Tomoe River, which I shouldn't have done that, by the way. So let's write. This is Amarillo Stationery Toasty Joggers. That looks to be a fine nib, which is interesting. I don't usually do fines, but this is what he must have had at hand. So this is a little pens. I think it's little pens, little, or maybe one pen, little pen designs. And I'll leave that blank for now because I don't know what it is. I'm horrible, and that's a fine nib. But look at that color. That's just like a nice toasty brown color, which is perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay, let's keep moving. The next pen that I'm doing is this White Bear pens. And this is another instance. So I met, not for the first time, but I saw Michaela again at the Chicago Pen Show this past year, 2024. And she had a handful of pens with her. And I immediately recognized the material as like a eel and anchor because I have another nib, like I have a nib holder from Papa J Woodworks from Luke. And it is that eel and anchor, and you can just tell the similarities. So I wanted something else by him, I wanted something else by eel and anchor, so I immediately snagged this pen. This is an Ursa pen model. I love the clear cap, and it's super fun. And this one I inked up with blue suntan. So Amarillo Stationery Blue Suntan. The match is not quite there, but there was a little bit of blue. And I had believed that the blue suntan ink had a hint of pink in the shading, which is why I was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect. But I don't know. Maybe I was maybe I don't know what was wrong with me, but I'm not seeing more of that pink anymore. So but it is what it is. So let's do our little swatch. Okay. So again, that is Amarillo Stationery. Blue suntan. Oh wait, how am I? Oh no. that is a medium, and I love the like White Bear Pens branded Jovo nib. That's so cute. Um, so that's that. The next pen that I have, it's actually an interesting choice because this material doesn't go with the ink at all. But here's like where sometimes I just don't care. I just need a pen. Um, Sometimes I do, of course, want to pair it nicely with it, but this time, like I said earlier, I just needed a pen to write thank you notes. So this is what I had available, and this is a River City Pen Company. I am not too familiar on what model this is because he's got quite a handful of them. But it's got this matte finish, which is so cool. It's almost satiny. Um, there's an unbranded Jovo. I believe that's, oh, that's a stub. It's a stub nib. Uh, and then that's actually inked up with teal waistband. I kind of thought it was okay to just contrast the color instead of it trying to be like a perfect match. And you will see that teal waistband is leaning more green lately. In my initial swatches, it was very like ambiguous, which is why I chose the name. But overall, I'm kind of happy with it leaning more green because otherwise it would have been a little too close to the blue suntan. And actually, I love how it's looking right now, so I'm gonna stay at this at this distance. Overall, I'm very happy that the colors together, like all four of them, look so good together as a collection. This empty space over here is bothering me, so I'm gonna put this right here. I'm gonna put that in my little, yeah, there you go. It's just, I don't like seeing so much empty space. I'm kind of weird that way, friends. So that was Teal Waistband by Amarillo Stationery. If you haven't heard of them, they're a fantastic brand. The owner is amazing. And again, this is a River City Pen Company. I'm just gonna abbreviate River City Pen Company. Again, I don't know much about the material or the model, so I'll leave that alone. And then this is a 1.1 stub, so I'll just do that. And yeah, friends, that is, so far, that's my currently inked. We do have a handful more to go. I really enjoy that color palette a lot. And let's see what the back is doing. Yeah, like there's hardly any bleed through or anything, so I'm gonna just do that right there just because I know that's where the swatches are going. And the orange is kind of bothering me, so I'm just gonna turn it around. The next one that I'm doing is this super awesome Pasquali pen that he did for my shop. This is in a material inspired by my shop by Amarillo Stationery. And I was very grateful because Nick agreed to making a run of pens for my shop, and I know that's a lot of work, so I truly appreciate it, and I was so happy with how it turned out. I even got a custom branded Jovo nib for it by Pen Realm. He's got my little logo on there, so it came out super cute. And the ink that I have in this pen is Tierra Colorada by Monarca Stationery. And they like this color match is perfect. And I've had this inked, I feel like for a year now, with the same color. It's just so satisfying. And you know, sometimes you just find that perfect match. You're like, why overthink it? Let me just ink it up with the same color. Uh, and so that's what I've done. I just haven't bothered to find a new color for it. Look at my napkin so far. It's beautiful. I love these little bottles. So again, that is Monarca Stationery. What was the color? Oh, Tierra Colorada. And the pen is the exact model name is leaving my mind right now, so I'm not even gonna bother. But this is a Pasquali, so I'm just gonna put here Pasquali Amarillo, and that is a just mean medium nib. It's just so, it writes so well. It's just one of my favorite pens. Always inked up with Tierra Colorada. Little coffee break. The next pen that I am doing is, ooh, this one. I have that pen inked up with Robert Oster Bondi Blue, which is a color I got from Endless Pen Company. Endless Pens, not Endless Pen Company. And it's in this beautifully thought out and designed pen. So, long story short, I designed this pen for Endless Pens with Benu. And the inspiration is the bottom of a pool in Mexico, basically. And it came out so beautiful. So that's why it's pretty much always inked. And this is, what is this model name? Oh, it's not a talisman. It's, oh, sorry, it's early and I haven't finished my coffee clearly. So, oh, it's the Euphoria. It's the Benu Euphoria, and this is the first time that I had a Benu Euphoria, and it is such a perfect weight and balance, and it feels so comfortable. So I'm gonna do more of those pens. I mean, get more of those pens, add more of those to my collection because it's just really, really good. I highly recommend that model. Let me see. Let's do a little swatch a doodle doo. I hope. Okay, I think that's enough. When I first inked up this pen, like, I think almost 2 years ago, it was just such a perfect match that ever since that's the color that it's had forever. I've never changed it. Again, when you find something that works, just stick to it. And it just flows so well. It's such a great, reliable pen. So eventually I will probably find something like the orange kicks in that pen is gonna look awesome. I can already tell. And even the toasty joggers. And actually probably the blue suntan as well. Honestly, all four of these will look amazing because even this band right here has a little bit of green. So that teal waistband is gonna look awesome. So let's see. That is Robert Oster. Oh, I didn't do print. That's okay. Here, we'll do it here. This is Sunday. Well, I'm gonna do the model, the brand, and this is Sunday by the pool. And I believe that's a medium nib. I love me a medium nib. It's the perfect line. It's just, again, it almost looks like ice cream, which is why we decided to call it Sunday by the pool. Okay. 2 more pens. The next one that I'm doing is another blue ink. Actually, the next 3 are blues, surprisingly. And it is Azul Frida, also from my shop. This is a collaboration with Penonia. He did so good. And it's this pen. This is a pen by Glenn Stanley. He's out of Indiana, and he's been making pens for like a couple of years now, and I have a handful of them, and this material is just so sick. I do have a review of this pen up on my YouTube as well, if you want a little bit more focused content on that. But it's a material that's pretty much like hard to get. I think it's by Chaotic Artworks. And look, I just lined it up because I realized I didn't have it lined up. But I inked up this pen with Azul Frida because I had him do a blue section, and I thought that was just wonderful. And it just writes so well for some, I don't understand, it's so good. So it's one of my favorite pens, and when I'm writing thank you notes for my shop, a lot of times I'm using this pen and color combination. So let's do a little swatch-a-doodle-doo. Why do I say that? Who says that? Oh, I am not okay. So this ink has a little bit of purple in it, or violet. Hopefully you can see that in the swatch. And the name of that ink is inspired by Frida Kahlo's house in Mexico, which is painted a beautiful blue color on the exterior. And I just love the contrast of calling a blue color Frida. Do with that what you will. Okay, look at that color. This is such a nice little color palette here, friends. So this is, so that was, I'm just gonna say it's Amarillo Stationery, because ultimately I will be having these under my own brand. And this is Azul Frida, and the pen is by Glenn. I think it's 2 N's. Stanley pens. The material is by Chaotic Works. Do they have a Z? I'm just gonna do an S. I forget. And this is another just mean and nasty medium nib. So good. It's just so satisfying. These are really fun. I should do these more often. I'm nerding out over here. Like, yes, Pensasis. Okay, the last pen that I have is it's a new favorite. I bought this secondhand from my friend Jamie, Lord Hibachi. And when Nick Pasquali had this pen up, I was like, oh, that is so beautiful. And I'm glad it went to Jamie. I wasn't aware of that, but when I saw that he was selling it, I was like, oh, I need that pen. And Jamie graciously put a gold nib with my little logo with the Amarillo mascot, which his name is Amarillo. And that's a Oh, it's an extra fine nib. And I knew I wanted to just ink it up because it's such a beautiful pen. And the only ink that I have on my desk, my work desk, is this, I think it's a Sailor pen, Doctor Collection Serious. I think that's the color of the ink. I don't know much about it. It must have been like a shop exclusive. And I got this from a little stationery Discord. Not a little, but I think it's April's stationery Discord, the stationery cafe Discord. There was somebody selling a couple of inks, so I bought that one and another one. I was like, whatever, let me try them out. But it's like this dusty gray blue. And it can probably be uninspiring to some people, but you know, if you just want to write a little something, any ink will work. And it was surprisingly a nice little match for my Pasquali pen. You'll see in a second. I love those little bottles. ASMR, but I don't have nails. So yeah, again, this just beautiful pen. And look at the finial. The finial has Nick Pasquali's logo. It's so cute. Nick is just an awesome dude. And you see how that little dusty blue purple pen just goes really well with it. That's what I mean. So I'm gonna say the brand is, I don't know, Sailor Doctor Collection. Serious. And this is a Pasquali. And the model is Pasquali. And this has another, well, not a medium, but this is a extra fine nib. Look at that, it's just so good. Even though I have 4 blues inked up, they're actually all very different to each other. Compare these 3 and then that one, very, very different. So a wide range. So even though sometimes you think blue color, don't immediately think it's gonna be a boring color or basic, because it could be interesting. So anyway, friends, that is my currently inked for the month of January. I hope to do one for February, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you again later. Bye-bye.